Now, if you take a look at this here, you'll see that the IP protocol is connectionless. It's treating the packets independently, and it's designed for hierarchical addressing. But most layer 3 protocols corresponded to those same rules. So why is it that the IP, the Internet protocol, won over other types of protocols? And matter of fact, it's not the best one. For instance, if you were on a Novell network and you were running IPX, it was very easy to find where the resources were on your network. And isn't that the whole idea? Isn't the idea of building a data network such that we can share resources? We've got a file repository someplace, and we've got some printers elsewhere, and we can find where they are in the network and print our files and find them and save them in a server somewhere. Well, in an IPX network, the server would advertise every 60 seconds, say, "Hi, I'm a file server, and I'm sharing these printers," and so on. And you'd open up your applications, and you'd be able to see them very quickly as to where your resources were, whether you were in a small data network or even a relatively large data network with IPX. AppleTalk, although we did it in a much more chatty, Cathy type environment, every 10 seconds would be advertising, I've got files, I've got printers, I've got files, I've got printers. And you'd open up the chooser and figure out where your print servers are, or where your file servers are, and where you could share information from peer to peer on an AppleTalk network. Now, the two types there, you had IPX, which was a client-server type model, and AppleTalk, which was more of a peer-to-peer type file sharing model, work really well for sharing resources within a company. It doesn't work very well for a globally connected network, and that's why IP won. As IP isn't designed necessarily for a small enterprise or even a large enterprise to share resources. It's designed for the world to interconnect with each other. Of course, there's a drawback to it. For instance, on strictly an IP network, and no cheating here with Microsoft NVT, NetBIOS over TCP/IP, strictly with IP, open up and figure out where your printers are and where your file servers are. And without LDAP, which was invented much later, it's not all that easy. And even setting up LDAP in a small environment isn't exactly something that most of us are going to tackle as far as a challenge to just do something as simple as sharing resources. You have to know the address. You have to know the address of the devices that are going to be sharing resources within an IP network. And that's kind of a disadvantage to what we had before with things like AppleTalk and IPX. But the trade-off is we can interconnect the entire globe based on the addressing scheme given to us in IP.